last time on Thrill of the Race.
Rollo goes up into second on the approach to the bomb hole, and now he's challenging Storm Stacey. But Storm Stacey now is into the slipstream here as they make their way onto the Bentley straight on the approach to Brundle Corner. They're side by side now. Here they go up the inside for Storm Stacey. Lewis Rollo sees him. He has to let him through. And Storm Stacey is a British Superbike race winner. Glenn Irwin wins race 2 at Snetterton in supreme style.
Absolutely fantastic.
Tommy Bridewell trying everything, but Irwin does a double here at Snetterton.
I think Glenn versus Tommy is back on.
In the British sporting summer, we often think of Wimbledon tennis, the British Open golf, Formula One at Silverstone, but in the world of Bennett's British Superbikes, the jewel in the crowd in the summer is the return to the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. Whatever the sport, everyone has that place, and this is it. 50,000 fans will come and watch the rivalry that is Glenn Irwin and Tommy Bridewell. Remember, October 2023, after a season-long campaign, they were separated by just half a point. Well, we've got one better than that for this year because we start day 2 of this event with them on actually dead heat points. They are absolutely joined together in more ways than one. With the 2 main protagonists locked on point, there really is nothing in it.
Then Brands Hatch is like the spiritual home of British Superbikes. And I think that when you look at the championship and the results that have happened, these names are appearing that are very familiar, and you're getting an idea of who's really going to fight for this championship.
Before we head into qualifying, we knew Danny Kent was going to be strong. He was going to be quick on that McCams by Martin and Yamaha because it's the circuit they absolutely adores. It's expected the other Yamahas as well, Vickers and Kyle Wright, to be fast. And we kind of saw that from Ryan. Kyle seemed to just struggle from the word go, and I don't know why, but just it didn't really click for Kyle at the start, and it just seemed to go a little bit wrong all the way along.
Kyle's having a very similar season to last year, where when he's on song, he looks unstoppable, but then all of a sudden there'll be the odd race where he's slipping down 5th or 6th, and in this championship you can't really afford to do it.
Qualifying was going to be different because the track had cooled off a lot from the Friday, so the Saturday was looking like it was going to be a fast session. What I didn't expect was Kyle to have to struggle through Q1.
Unravel so quickly your weekend if you do not get off to a good start, if you don't get yourself up there. And for Kyle Wright particularly coming into this one, who has designs on fighting for this championship, he's got to make sure he gets through this session, James, otherwise he's going to be mired back on the grid. But so far this looks like it might be all right for Kyle Wright. Now, it was the 3rd sector where Kyle was losing a bit of time last time. Such trouble here. The checkered flag is out. Kyle Wright, who really needed this. It looks like, as James says, he was going to go through anyway. Over the line, just to be sure, with a 1:25.6.
It is a story of 2 halves in that OMG garage, and it kind of fluctuates sometimes from weekend to weekend. They're both incredible talents, massive talents.
And I think they're both, it's been a weird weekend so far. We've not even started racing yet, and Ryan looks really good. When he's up and running, Ryan looks like he can just go bang, low 1:25 in a heartbeat, and he's making it look pretty easy. It looks like it's coming a lot harder for Kyle.
At will, able to put in decent laps here. A 25.1 then puts in P1.
He had a good round of golf during the week. He's bought the worst bucket hat you've ever seen in your life, and he wears it with pride. He says pray for birdies because he wants to get some birdies in the golf course, but he got a hole in one when he got qualifying, didn't he? Nobody was touching that.
Kyle Wright moves up onto the front row. He needed that lap. Danny Buchan is up into 5th.
Glenn Irwin was very quick as well. Glenn looked really smooth on a Ducati today.
Glenn Irwin then immediately gets the gloves off and is pushing down into clearways.
Today I thought Glenn looked really, really super silky and smooth, and the lap time did actually come in qualifying.
Their man has delivered on his first flying lap with 4 minutes to go. Here's Tommy Bridewell at the moment, 5th. He was fastest through sector 1.
I think
on course.
Yeah, he's on course for improvement. I don't think he's actually on course for a pole. I think if he doesn't end up front row, which is top 3, I think he will be pretty disappointed.
I felt like there was more in the bike, but I had to try and extract it in a way that was tough, and it made me have to ride over the limit, and hence the moment I had.
Certainly we want to be beyond row 2. That's and that is gone. That lap is gone. That was a massive moment.
He knows it.
We got a bit of a lag in the throttle at the minute, which it is making it hard to judge where the power's coming in. And when it spun on me, I actually, instead of rolling the throttle, I thought, do you know what, just spin it out, you know, roll it out, because normally you would lose a bit of time but not drastic amount in there, and then it come round on me a bit more, and luckily I was covering the rear brake, because I didn't shut the throttle until the very end, and I was like, and I was cross.
And he knew, and you see the shake of his head, he knew that had cost him a couple of tenths.
And I was frustrated then at myself, because I don't get cross anymore, because it doesn't benefit anyone or anything. So I think, in truth, and it's not an excuse, but my emotions are so fragile today that everything is magnified, you know. 17 years ago, I'm a kid. I'm a kid in a wet garage at Mallory Park, being told that my brother's passed away. So to still be here, riding for a factory team like Honda, British champion, running the #1 plate, is an honour for definite. I'll never give up, you know. I'll never do anything but put 100% into my racing, and just my philosophy in life, to be honest.
We did see a different Tommy today. We saw a much more kind of focused, a little bit subdued, you know, not the usual kind of fun, outgoing guy that we are used to. And that plays heavy on your mind, and it plays heavy on your heart as well, you know, because let's face it, when your whole family's here, it's what you do. You know, his brother was absolutely everything to Tommy, and Ollie, you know, sad day, 17 years, it goes in a flash. But I think Tommy did him proud today.
This is a massive weekend for a lot of riders. I don't think it's as crucial for people like Glenn and for Tommy, because they're going to be there. But I do think for the rest, if they want to cling on to the tails, it's going to be really interesting how this one pans out. And if you look at recent history, it's been very much dominated by Ducatis or Yamahas. So I think if we don't see them performing, they're going to go home with a bit of a sore head.
It's round 6 of Bennettts BSB for 2024, and it's time to go racing here at Brands Hatch. It's been a tremendous season so far. 8 different winners in 14 races. The 15th race coming up. We've reached the halfway point of the season, and with this new points format, there's very little to split those at the top of the standings. Glenn Irwin is 4 points up on Tommy Bridewell.
Just mentioning their names together gets you excited already. They can both do some damage. I mean, listen, Tommy's behind him on the grid. They're both going to be going for it, and neither one of them wants to lose to the other.
And here we go then. It's lights out, and it is a good start there from Vickers. In fact, all from the front row seemed to get away pretty well, as did Josh Brooks as well. He needs to get better starts under his belt. Glenn Irwin goes to the outside. That means Josh Brooks pulls up alongside him, but Vickers gets the whole shot into turn 1 and into Druids. It looks like they've all just about made it through.
From lap 1, I was like, look, I have got to do a real good first 5 laps, you know. I've got to put the hammer down and try break them.
Vickers it is that leads then. As they flick it left, Kent is just in behind it, then it's Irwin, Brooks and Bridewell. Bridewell desperate to try and find a way through on Josh Brooks on the FHO Racing BMW.
I felt okay on the bike, just losing in areas that I just couldn't make up, you know, I just couldn't. I was on the power so early and they were still pulling away from me.
And that's a typical Tommy Bridewell, really clean, really effective move with no comeback from the man you passed, in this case Josh Brooks.
I was making it all back up on braking, but honestly, I was folding the front. I thought I was about to snap the front of the bike out of the bloody thing.
Still Vickers that leads from Danny Kent.
Danny Kent's pushing now.
Yeah,
just saw him have a little bit of a look into Surtees there. Hang on, what's going on there? Big.
Yeah, that is number 86, Spud Nesbitt.
That's Nesbitt.
Danny Kent's gone down. Danny Kent has gone down. It looked like the opportunity for Danny Kent to try and wrestle to his first victory, but it's not to be. And now Tommy Bridewell on the Honda is closing down on Glenn Irwin.
From a commentary perspective, when you see Tommy behind Glenn, your eyes are drawn to that, and you are always looking to see what those guys are going to do, because I do think that they are, at times, it's almost like they're fixated on one another. I'm sure they're not, because they just want to go out and win.
This is a move from Tommy, and again, he's pulled that move off Sheen curve, let it run wide, round the outside. That puts you on the inside for Sterling's, and that is not an easy thing to do.
Tommy into Sterling's, his favourite move, it seems like, was absolutely spot on, and that's a bold move to try and set up on the approach as well.
Tommy Bridewell goes through. Now can he chase down Vickers, who again slaps in another one?
Just a 10, and The impressive part is he's knocking exactly the same amount off every single lap, a tenth of a second.
This is no disrespect to anyone that finished behind Ryan Vickers, but in the dry at Brands Hatch, I can't remember the last time I saw someone clear off into the distance.
And he put fastest lap in after fastest lap after fastest lap.
Vickers here. Let's see if he puts in another one over the line for Vickers. At 25.215, he's done it again.
Exactly.
That was crazy. Gone, completely gone. He was so precise. It was metronomic, 5 or 6 fastest laps of the race, and they were all within half a tenth of each other. That is a class ride.
I had to remind myself a few times that he was actually in the race, because we were all kind of looking at the massive battle that was going on for second place.
Vickers at the moment, though, is doing so well. Oh, Glenn Irwin thought about the move on the approach to Paddock Hill Bend. They're all bunching up a bit, and again, Leon Haslam was faster than them. In fact, Andy Irwin is the one on the move.
Andrew's back. Andrew's very much back, and he also played the perfect wingman for Tommy Bridewell today.
Taking off the laps. I seen my pit board for the first time after 10 laps, and I thought, I started with some moments. I was like, do I try to back down a little bit and settle, or do I keep pushing on? And I felt confident to keep going, and we closed the gap to Glenn, Tommy, Leon, I think Christian also.
Now this is where Glenn Irwin's really going to get in, tucked in behind the Honda, and he should be able to use the power of that Ducati. He pulls up alongside him on the approach to Hawthorne, and Glenn Irwin moves back up into second place. Idden's up the inside of Tommy Bridewell on the Oxford Products Ducati, and that
Makes it
was
stick.
really neat as
Yeah,
well
it was
from
clean.
Christian Idden. And look here, Andy Irwin really is closing up on the group.
We were saying in the commentary, if he makes a move, it's got to be clinical, it can't upset Tommy's rhythm, and God forbid he can't take him down.
Nice block pass into Paddock Hill Bend there, but he's running slightly wide as Andy Irwin.
He's got it though.
He's got it.
What we did see was Andrew passing Glenn, and a move that was just Glenn ran a little bit wide and Andrew got through and inside.
Is Tommy Bridewell going to line up another move then into Sterling?
He's having a look.
He is.
Yep.
Here it comes, and this time is he going to make it stick?
Little bit of a block pass, he's gone wide.
He's gone wide again, and here comes Glenn
Glenn's
Irwin once more. He's got the
looks like
power
cut
on
back.
there side by side, then on the approach to Clearways, and Bridewell's got the inside line. It's fast through there.
Yeah, and it's bumpy through there.
And now look at Andy Irwin. He's come through with his brother as well and said, oh, there was an inch there. I'll take it, thanks.
But then he comes up against Tommy, and he's got this kind of dilemma in his mind. Should he stay or should he go? What does he do?
So this is Hawthorne Bend right here.
Yep.
This is where Andy really comes into his own.
Yes, it is. Look at that. Look at the speed of the last bit of that corner. Yeah, beautiful. Well, I'll tell you what, all these lads are brave. You can't do this.
And then he played the perfect wingman for Honda.
They were all second best in the end because they got absolutely walloped.
And in the meantime,
Yeah, a long
Ryan
way down the
Vickers,
road.
a long way down the
Look at
road.
that.
Arm in the air, and rightly so. This has been a phenomenal ride, an absolute masterclass performance from Ryan Vickers. He has smoked them.
The team have worked so hard the last couple of weeks, and I got my bike back, which is really nice. And yeah, it just fills you full of confidence, you know. I came in, and as soon as I rode the bike in FP1, I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, I got my bike back. I feel comfortable at Brands Hatch again. It's a joy to ride.
Good day on a day like today to finish second on the podium. Credit to Ryan, credit to my teammate Andy. He's done a phenomenal job, and really chuffed for the whole team involved.
Honestly, I've won races in BSB before, but that's probably one of my best races, to be able to come from where I came from, stay calm, not make any mistakes, and to fight my way through to there. So I'm happy with it. We need to continue to make some more steps for tomorrow to try to close the gap to Ryan. If we're able to get closer to him, even go away with him for a few laps to help pull you away from the other group, let's say, would be ideal.
Battle top of the podium for Quiller, OMG Racing Yamaha, Ryan Vickers. The last hour of the esteemed Bill Robinson, sir, if you would make your way out onto the podium. A round of applause for Bill, ladies and gentlemen, out there. Absolutely fantastic that Bill will be collecting the team award.
Oh, Raj and Mataz.
Time this season for Honda Racing UK, and for Northern Ireland, Andrew Irwin.
Actually, after like lap 10, I thought.
Yeah, a big drop.
Nearly crashing everywhere. Yeah.
Really?
What was your best? Did you do a 24?
25. One or well, flat, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I was doing 25 threes with 7 laps to go.
Best lap was 25.167.
You did 6 fastest laps in a row.
Well, one before was a 26 flat and I rolled off a bit. But...
Stop slagging me off now.
Would we? They weren't talking about you at all.
Absolutely. Do you know, I actually found it probably a bit easier yesterday with heat.
Sometimes you look at a rider on screen and you think he doesn't even look like he's going very fast. He was just so precise. He wasn't out of shape. There's something about Ryan, there's a winning mentality there. And so if the stars align, he's going to be very difficult to beat. And I'll say this right now, if we see more of that today, they will not touch him.
On Friday, 1 second separated the top 17 riders after free practice. And I boldly said the depth of competition was like nothing we've seen before and no one was going to run away with it. Ryan Vickers had something to say about that and made everyone look a bit average by winning yesterday's race by nearly 10 seconds. But big change today. The temperature has dropped almost a whopping 8 to 10 degrees, and that might just bring others into play.
Welcome to Brands Hatch. We're readying ourselves here for 2 races today in front of a great crowd. Glenn Irwin and Tommy Bridewell are locked on points, but it's very much a case of all eyes on Ryan Vickers on pole after a dominant display here at Brands Hatch yesterday on the GP circuit.
You see it though?
Yeah.
Straight on the bottom.
Here we go then. We are ready for racing. 12 laps at Brands Hatch GP here in Kent for our summer edition here.
Drama, drama, drama. That's what it was, wasn't it?
Let's go racing then. The red flag is removed from the front of the grid. It's eyes on the lights, and away we go. It's another great start for Ryan Vickers. Lights out here. He is going to fly into turn 1, ahead by a couple of bike lengths. Through into second is Tommy Bridewell. A couple of people getting run wide, including Glenn Irwin. There's a few people down there, and Glenn Irwin is one of them.
Everybody charges into turn number 1, 12-lap race. Got to be on it from the word go. Danny Buchan unfortunately rides into Danny Kent. Danny Kent goes down. Glenn Irwin gets scooped up in it. Wrong place, wrong time for Glenn. That's all you can say. Biggest worry at that point was we saw Kent get up, we saw Buchan get up. Glenn stayed in the ground for a long, long time.
Safety car's out.
Safety car's out, yeah, and quite rightly.
There's some concerns here for Glenn Irwin.
Yes, we saw him sit up on his haunches, but the hand went up to the shoulder straight away. Everybody in the place, you could see on the big screen or it was down there, knows that's a worried rider thinking, my collarbone, my collarbone.
Poor old Glenn. We send our best wishes to the co-championship leader. That's not what we wanted to see. The lights are out, so it's all cleared at Paddock Hill Bend, and we're going to go racing. Lights are out. Vickers backing them all up. Here we go then, around the final corner, clearways, and Ryan Vickers here maybe didn't get the launch he wanted because Tommy Bridewell is up beside him on the Honda. Vickers it is that's going to hold on for now. It's Bridewell in second, Haslam third, Eden fourth, then it's Andy Owen.
I braked late, but then I scrubbed my speed off at the apex just to, you know, defend a little bit, you know, and that into Druids, I defended again, and I defended a bit too much. Tommy then passed me.
Here goes Bridewell up the inside. He will run deep though. They all run a bit wide, James.
Yeah, I think that was Tommy going in under Ryan Vickers, just took everybody's out of the ball. It's worked, the pass has worked, and that's fair enough.
Vickers is now pouncing back. Vickers back through. That was lovely. He's got a tight line on the approach though. He's held his line nicely.
That's perfect.
Yeah, brilliant move then.
And I got him back, and then I thought, right, okay, you know, I've seen his pace, I know where I'm stronger, and you know, I went to go and I tried a little bit too hard. I didn't need to. My pace was definitely stronger, just riding how I've been riding. And I tried a little bit too hard, run wide at Surtees.
Ryan Vickers is well wide into Surtees.
Very wide.
That allows Tommy Bridewell through.
And that's an indication that that boy is pushing because he did 20 laps yesterday, never went an inch wide.
Run a little bit wide and then went back to P3 and I thought, right, okay, regroup. I can pass these guys. I've seen how much stronger I am in places, and I didn't expect to pass them both at once.
O'Halloran picks off Andy Owen into Surtees. This is nothing like the race we saw here yesterday.
Completely not. I mean, one thing I've got to say about Jason Howard, he's quite hang on a minute.
Third into first for Vickers.
What?
And especially at Hawthorns, when neither of them made a mistake either. So that was pretty good. I quite enjoyed that.
Third into first on the Yamaha.
Unreal.
He's managed to get through. Oh, someone's gone down in the background. Someone has gone down. As Eden now goes through on Tommy Bridewell. It's all happening here. Oh my goodness, Hedger. And that bike looks absolutely totaled. I hope he's right.
Yeah, that's...
Hedger was having a good run. We've got a red flag. We've got a red flag.
The match at Yama just can't get on the power like him. They just And the trouble is, I can't stop like you do. It's a problem. Like, you know, that's normally my strength. But like when Christian passed me into it, I thought, no way are you going to stop, and he did.
I thought he's let the brake off and got through. The front's good.
After all that, we had a restart.
That was a good start from Bridewell as well, but Vickers will get the whole shot. It's a great start as he drops down into turn 1. Good start also there for Jason O'Halloran, who's moved up into 3rd. That's Kyle Ride 4th, Andy Irwin is in 5th, and then it's Haslam. Iden did not get a good start at all.
Them short 5 lappers are tough because, in truth, people can hold their breath for 5 laps and make something happen, perhaps, so they can't over 12 or even 20 laps.
Knowing that Glenn Irwin's not in this race and knowing that Ryan Vickers is 79 behind, will that play any mind?
Will think differently?
I just wonder whether or not he might just say, do you know what,
I'll take the point.
I do not want to be throwing this at the scenery, I'll take the points. Up towards 30s, and now Kyle Ride wants to make it an OMG Yamaha 1-2.
It was difficult, but when I got behind Tommy, I relaxed. The bike worked amazing. Did some lap times that was near enough 6/10 faster than yesterday.
So here comes Kyle. Not quite able
to get up alongside.
Into Stirlings, you've got to be careful, because if you get your front wheel level with his back, he doesn't know you're there, turns in on you, you are going down the road, probably both of you.
I wanted to have a go at Tommy to try and make it a 1-2 for the OMG team, but didn't trust the tyre enough. I've only done, 10 laps on it.
This has been a brilliant race from Ryan Vickers
yes,
again.
It has.
Bearing in mind it's a 5-lap sprint. You could be forgiven for thinking that this would be a proper dust-up and people would ruffle his feathers, but he's done everything right.
Well, you know, you'd have been a silly man not to put money on Vickers. He's looked so good all weekend. He's got his mojo well and truly back.
The big question was coming into this one from Ryan Vickers, catch me if you can. Well, they can't. It's a double at Brands. Vickers wins it.
Really, really happy. You know, the team have done a fantastic job this weekend. Really believed in me and given me the bike that I need.
I know how strong the AMs are here. The guys are riding like phenomenally well as well. So credit to them. But just good, enjoyable, clean racing. You know, that's the thing for us in British Superbikes. You know, where we all understand the way each other's rides, and yeah, it was just a good fun race.
The 14 points I got was a lot more important. So yeah, glad we're all here safe. I hope everyone else that caused the red flag and whatever is okay. And yeah, hopefully we can have a good race afternoon.
Time for the final race of the weekend here at Brands Hatch GP. We've just gone past halfway distance in this 2024 season. Is it going to be Vickers to do the treble? Over the last 10 years, only 2 riders have managed to do a treble here at Brands Hatch GP. Is he about to become the Monster Energy King of Brands? It's lights out, and another good start from Vickers on pole. It's been the same old story all weekend. He'll get the whole shot again.
Race 3, Vickers. Come on, can you honestly think, did you not think that as well?
Round Clearways we come to complete lap 1 from the grandstand. Over the line for Ryan Vickers, a 29.9 from a standing start. That is rapid. There's Iden, number 21, just up behind Lee Jackson.
This is the sort of track where you build the pass. Pass is almost always built in the corner before.
They want to try and dispatch Jackson and Leon Haslam as quickly as possible. And here's the move already. He's going for one up the inside. Neatly done from Iden on the Oxford Products Racing Decat.
Yeah, you've got to watch that. You go up the inside, you're fairly committed. You can't slow the bike down anymore. 2 in 2.
Yeah, lovely.
2 corners.
Just picked my way forward and I felt really good.
Christian Iden with the fastest lap. There he is, number 21, just behind this group of riders fighting it out for 3rd place. So Iden looking to try and get through on Tommy Bridewell, who had a bit of a moment there, and he's going forward again, down into Graham Hill. Ben Lovely from Christian Iden, he's up another.
The Oxford Products Motor Rapido Ducati again. I seem to say this every week now, week in, week out. Whatever circuit we go to, they seem to be there.
Glenn Irwin then trying to wrestle his way past Max Cook, and does so. So that's another place made up for Irwin.
Glenn Irwin, what can you say about him? If you could bottle adrenaline, you would be a millionaire. And Glenn Irwin, he said, my biggest handicap right now is my grid position. Nothing else, not bothered about the sore shoulders, the sore back, the sore leg, the sore hip, the sore knee, the sore eyelashes. Everything would be sore on him. And he went out there. Remember, Glenn Irwin started at the back, so did Danny Kent, so did Danny Buchan. the progress that Glenn Irwin made in that race was sensational.
Down into Paddock Hill Bend. Look at number 2, Glenn Irwin on the HIGGS PBN Ducati. Now, is he going to try and make a move on Nesbitt? He's not close enough. Into Druids.
Lovely corner, Druids, very smooth, lots of camber.
Here comes the move up the inside down into Graham Hill Bend on Nesbitt.
Yep.
Neat, tidy, holds his line. Next on his list is Leon Haslam. There is Kyle Ride, holding Idden at bay for now.
At that point, I had like 1.5 seconds, nearly 2 seconds on my pit board to Tommy. And Kyle was setting a really good pace. But then my pit board started coming down. I was like, oh man, you know, like Tommy's coming. He's so good, he's so strong at the end of a race.
It's another couple of tenths Bridewell is taken out.
He's going well here.
I think dogged determination of Kyle Wright made him bite that screen and really dig deep. Because he's watching his teammate walks away at the front, that has an effect on the guy on the other side of the garage.
And you can see here, out of Surtees, Idden looks to try and get that drive. But he can't get close enough to pull a move on.
Trying to pass him down into that bottom corner where he is honestly like just one of the best probably in the whole world around that corner. So to make a lunge into there was like, I just held my breath and just waited to see his forks nod, and I just went, right, we're going.
He pulls up alongside him, he's going for it. He knew he had to do something.
Yes, he did.
Because Tommy Bridewell was coming. Has he just run it slightly wide? Because now this is Yemen. A big look over the shoulder from Kyle Ride, and he sees a face full of Tommy Bridewell. All of this is just holding back Tommy Bridewell. He's only got 2 laps now to try and pick off Kyle Ride and Christian Idden. And he's going forward, it's Kyle Ride. He doesn't want Tommy behind him, but he's run wide. Oh, they're both side by side here. This all helps Tommy Bridewell. Does he smell an opportunity into Druids? No. Good work from Ride then into turn 1.
Yep.
Neither of them want to be the scapegoat here with Tommy Bridewell on their tail.
He's British champion, so you know you're going to have a battle if he comes into comes and plays at the party.
This is where Christian Idden will try and get back through. In fact, scrap that, he's going to do it on the approach to Surtees.
Yeah, I think he knows that he needs a good drive out of Surtees to get a good run down the straight. I don't think Kyle's going to be able to get level with him by the end. He's in the slipstream. No, didn't think so.
So they've chopped and changed a bit here, this battle for second and third. And whilst they tussle, Bridewell's not been able to find a line through.
It was an intense battle with Christian, Kyle and Tommy. To the end of it, I thought Tommy thought, right, that's enough for me. I'm good. I know I'm ahead of Glenn. I'm going to back out with this one. I'm just going to take my time here and let these guys put everything on the line.
He's definitely waved the white flag
yes,
to this
he has,
one, though.
absolutely. Yeah.
The checkered flag is out and ready here at Brands Hatch GP, and since the moment he rolled out in free practice, he has been on the money. He has barely put a foot wrong, and there's the arm up in the air. We salute you, Ryan Vickers. That was unbelievable. The treble for Vickers here at Brands, and no one has been able to lay a glove on him.
Brought it home, across the finish line, the triple. Absolutely awesome. Hasn't really sunk in yet, you know. It's cool. It's cool. The King of Brands trophy, riding it around. Look at that beast. And I can tell you, it weighs some. So yeah, special moment, and apparently I need a 3rd ever person to do the triple at Brands.
I'm really happy with what the team's done and what we've achieved. Like I said, I think we could have had more, but this is racing, you know, I'll take it. And I think we only lost 3 points to the top of the championship this weekend. We're just keeping an eye on that situation. And so, as far as it goes, that's pretty positive.
Tried my best to finish second in both races, but like I said to the boys a minute ago, I just felt like didn't have enough experience on that tyre to make a lunge or do whatever and do anything stupid. So yeah, the points tally I've got today is a big bonus.